Joining us at this point is Major Mohammed Ali Shah on the broadcast, defense analyst. Major Mohammed Ali Shah, several developments, of course, coming in from this tough talking by the United States to this G7 statement, to also reports, of course, of prisoners being exchanged as well. How do you react to these latest updates regarding the conflict, Mohammed Shah?
It is, I presume that amidst talks of peace and mediators stepping in, but unfortunately it's only going to get worse because both the leaders, President Vladimir Putin and President Zelensky, are not willing to concede to anyone's demand, and no chance. And it looks like in Ukraine there's going to be fight until the last man, last bullet, last breath. And President Vladimir Putin is not going to adhere to any of the to Ukraine at all. So yes, they are efforts. Turkey has come forward for peace talk, but now you said there is exchange of prisoners. Let me tell you here, when there is an accusation made, when Ukraine says that they had abducted or kidnapped our mayor, it was not, I would not term it kidnapping. I would term it as he was taken as a prisoner of war. It was under custody. He had been captured. So similarly, it's going to get worse. And yes, when Russia threatens that they will go nuclear, they will use atom bombs, they will use chemical bombs, well, they are already in a way doing that over there. And it is all going to be very, very dangerous because, let me give you a small example. Russia has laid out all its cards on the table already. And now when you lay out all your cards on the table already, what are you left with? You are left with that one single trump card, which you haven't laid. And that is Russia's main weapon. So they have threatened, all right. They've even done anti-nuclear, like, when we do anti-fire drills in office, or anywhere, that in case of a fire, what do we do? What are the protocols to be followed? They've already done that. And they also know that when they use these kind of strategic weapons, they also inadvertently would be affected reversely. But yet they are taking the philosophy where they will drown. They have accepted that, it seems, but they will take others along with them and they will drown. So yes, Uday, I really, honestly speaking, the signs might be good where Israel had come forward. India definitely was trying to be a peace broker, and now Turkey has come forward. France had come forward, but this is a long haul, Uday, and already over a month has been there. We've already gone past over a month, and Russia never thought that they will be able to sustain, the Ukraine will be able to sustain. But the way Ukraine has sustained it, that's irrespective, immaterial, whether they have got external support or the very fact is, or whether people have come from outside to fight. NATO has supplied them weapons and equipment. But the fact is, Ukraine per se has been able to sustain this war. And if Russia goes on like this further, I'm sorry, they would be in debt. They would have to take loans to fight this war, which is not a good idea at all. And yes, they would be compelled to use their strategic weapons over there.
Indeed, and it's not just now the United States, but other countries also which are talking tough. There are these latest statements which we just referred to, Major Shah, which have also been put out by Canada and the UK.
Absolutely, absolutely. And UK, in fact, they have told Ukraine that they would be sending across 6,000 more missiles for Ukraine to fight with. And Mr. Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, he also, everyone, the Western powers are fully supporting Ukraine. At this time, it's a very, very tricky time for India because India is playing a very, very balanced, neutral stand. And India's all-time, all-weather friend, not just fair weather, all-weather friend is Russia, which has stood by India all the time. And in fact, Western powers would try to pressurize us to take a stand for or against. But why should we do that? We would do what suits our countrymen the most. Why should we spoil our relationship with a very reliable ally, a friend, for a very unreliable ally? The Western powers have never proved to be standing with. In fact, Ukrainian President Mr. Vladimir Zelensky has said, now it's about time for you all to prove that you are with us, not just lip service, not just say it. Those standing ovations that he's been getting in the British Parliament, in the Congress, U.S. Congress, in the Western parliamentary, that is not going to get peace anywhere in Ukraine. That will not save the little children from getting killed. That will not save the little children from becoming orphans. That will not save the almost 3 million people who have left Ukraine. That will not bring peace at all. So yes, only thing which the world needs right now is peace. Otherwise, Uday, I genuinely fear why do we learn history? We learn history because so that we do not repeat the same mistake that we had done in the past, right? But here, unfortunately, despite that, The same mistakes are being repeated, the same mistakes which had happened in 1914 First World War, the same mistake which had happened in 1939 Second World War, the same mistake now in 2022. It is really unfortunate. And yes, when the Western powers like Canada, you out and we don't know who is fighting for Ukraine, whether it is the Ukrainian army only or somebody. People are volunteering to come forward, which is not a good presence. Let me tell you again.
Thanks to you, Major Mohammed Ali Shah, for joining us with your perspective on those developments.